16 by 9, the bigger picture.
Are smartphones outsmarting us?
I'm a firm believer that privacy is dead.
I only found out that you could even hack into phones when 16 by 9 called me.
They won't all end up on stage, but their lives are changing. How Sarah McLaughlin is taking the initiative to put music back into the hearts of kids.
I just wanted to give these kids an opportunity, and the idea for the school was born from that.
That's all coming up on 16 by 9. Here's Mary Garofalo.
Good evening and welcome to 16 by 9, the bigger picture. If you like taking and sending photos over the internet, this story is going to shock you. There's new technology you may not even know about installed in your cameras and cell phones that can now pinpoint exactly where those photos were taken. In a 16 by 9 investigation tonight, we're going to show you how posting your photos online can be a roadmap straight to your address.
Someone broke into my storage locker with all my shit from my old house and stole everything.
There is very little good time heirs Paris Hilton keeps private. But in this documentary called Paris, Not France, we get a glimpse of a rare moment where the vixen becomes a victim. Paris Hilton was awakened by a man trying to break into her home. Paris called police and the intruder was quickly arrested. And never missing an opportunity, she snapped a photograph of the man being handcuffed and posted it to her Twitter account, along with this tweet. So scary. Just got woken up to a guy trying to break into my house holding two big knives. Cops are here arresting him.
Oh, man.
What she didn't know at the time was that this photograph, posted to her almost 4 million Twitter followers, was embedded with the latitude and longitude of her exact location. And when you put those coordinates into Google Maps, well, it shows you exactly where she lives.
So here's our image. And sure enough,
That's her address.
we have a location.
Yeah.
She potentially invited every other stalker that want to come break into her house.
Larry Pesci is a true internet hacker and one of the founders of a very unique website called ICanStalkYou.com.
It's shocking, it's scary, it creeps me out, and I'm the one doing it.
What Larry's website does has a lot of people talking, and it all started with this new technology built inside all smartphones and even some cameras. It's called geotagging, and it embeds a photograph with the exact location within 15 feet. So if you're posting photos like this or this, you just might find your address on his website.
On our server, we scrape the public Twitter timeline. So every time someone posts a Twitter, it goes into this timeline. So we go and grab the picture, download it to our server. We grab that location information, and we try to match that location to an address. And then we post it to our website.
And his website posts photographs and addresses by the minute from many people who don't know their photos might as well have their addresses attached to it. Not everyone knows about geotagging, and this feature even caught this tech wizard off guard.
I'm a tech guy, and I got bit by it. Got my first iPhone. I went into my camera application to take a picture of my daughter in the backyard at grandma's house. Take the picture, and now it has the location embedded in the picture, which I then posted to the internet.
What was going through your head as a father?
Yeah, so as a father, I'm going, well, all right, here's a small child. We know where that child is located. There are certain pedophiles that may have an idea that they want to know where kids are.
GPS chips inside the smartphones and cameras are made for people who want to remember where they went on that fabulous vacation.
They were doing some stuff where you could actually put pictures on a map, so you could share with people in your area pictures.
But we found out just how easy it is to stalk someone. We sent our intern out to take some photos around town, indescript pictures that she could Twitter instantly. And just from those photos, Larry Pesci mapped her exact routine, and she had no idea.
So we have the dozen or so photographs, and it will zoom in on the map for us. I'm a firm believer that privacy is dead.
These photos were posted on ICanStalkYou.com. Most of the pictures tweeted are of these two beautiful babies. And when the latitude and longitudes were plugged into Google Maps, it took us to this Toronto home.
There's a reason why we picked you for our story.
Monica Rooney is an avid photographer, and she often posts pictures of her 20-month-old twins, Sarah and Hunter, on Twitter. She says she doesn't really mind the world knowing her address, but maybe she should.
Does that bother you at all that anybody anywhere could locate you exactly to your backyard?
They could also look in a phone book.
But a telephone book will tell you where you live. Doesn't tell you where you potentially went on vacation, doesn't tell you where you work, doesn't tell you that you went to the park last Saturday. Folks aren't really realizing some of the pieces we can put together based on that information.
And it gets worse.
We've gone and grabbed a couple 100,000 pictures from one of these adult content websites.
You heard him right. For those people posting X-rated photos of themselves on adult websites thinking they're anonymous, think again. Watch this. We randomly selected one racy photo of a topless woman from a website called Sexy Peek. It took Larry a few minutes to find her address on Google Maps. We won't tell you what city she lives in, but her name is Skylar, and we contacted her via Skype.
We found some pretty racy photographs of you online. Do you live at 843 Stanley Avenue?
I would say we intersected Stanley Avenue and Stanley Court intersect, and we were on Stanley Court, so I would say it was right on the corner.
How do you feel knowing that we were able to find your home address just based on that photograph you posted online?
I was pretty shocked, got a little unnerved, thinking that somebody could definitely find me that easily. Boom, 1, 2, 3. I am going to be, now because of this conversation, a lot more cautious about the measures that I do take as far as what I post and how I post it.
Could you not be putting these people potentially in risk by airing their addresses?
We are potentially putting them at risk, but we have the argument in that these people have already posted the information to the internet. They can't take it back.
But they didn't know their address was going to be embedded
They didn't know
in there.
it, but they've already done it, and it's already out there.
Larry says his website also shows you how you can protect yourself. It's as easy as turning off the geotagging feature in your phone. But by then, it might be too late.
You can remove it once you've posted it. Sort of the thing that we find in the security industry is that once you post something to the internet, it's game over.
It's once it's out there.
Yeah, once it's out there, it's gone.
Coming up on 16 by 9.
There's even more ways your smartphone can outsmart you.
Definitely did shock me how easy it was to do this. It's very wide open. There is very little security.
That's all coming up. Welcome back to 16 by 9, the bigger picture.
Are smartphones outsmarting us? You know them as iPhones, Androids, and Blackberries, and they're more valuable to hackers than a wallet full of cash. In our 16 by 9 investigation, we're going to show you something incredible tonight. Just how easy it is for tech thieves to take control of your cell phone, and all they need is your phone number.
It's the video that's causing a flurry of reaction in the world of high-tech hacking. 3 phones sitting on a desk. And at first glance, there's nothing remotely interesting going on here. But watch closely, because what one hacker has been able to do with these smartphones has embarrassed the cell phone industry and sounded the alarm.
I want to make sure that that bad guys are not able to do this, because if I could think this up in my apartment in nights and weekends, somebody who does this for a living, this is what they do, is attack people, I'm sure they could do it.
Georgia Wiedman is a hacker, but she works for the good guys as a security expert. Actually, she worked as a security expert, because since going public with her stunning research, she was fired.
I got a lot of press about it, and it didn't really go over too well with my company.
This is what Georgia presented at a hackers conference in Washington, D.C. recently, and she recreated it for 16 by 9. In front of her, 3 phones. This one represents the bad guy's phone. Another represents you, the victim. And the third, possibly a friend's phone, who has no idea your phone is about to infect theirs.
So I'm just sending a text message again to that same phone, but I'm structuring it in such a way that it's actually going to work as an attack.
And the attack is in the form of an innocent link. And once you click that link, the bad guy will take full control of your cell phone and everything inside.
I can read all of their traffic, any messages or phone calls that they're sending out, or any like reading their emails or browsing on the web. I can see all of that traffic, and I can also do that traffic on their behalf. Like I can send a text message as them that they don't know about.
And after assuming your identity, the bad guy can now navigate your contacts list, sending infected text messages to your friends.
It gets massively bigger each time. I get one phone, it takes all their contacts. Every phone in the world could get attacked by this.
And the most shocking part of this is you won't even know it's happening.
It will never reach the user's application layer. It will not be in the sent folder. It never gets that far.
And there's another scary way hackers are getting in. Apps, they're everywhere, but some contain backdoors. And what you will never know is that once they are downloaded, they can take control of your passwords, contacts, and even your banking information.
You download an application because you want to do a certain functionality, and it does that functionality, so you have no reason to believe that anything's wrong. But in the background, it's also doing malicious activity. So it's stealing your information, sending information on your behalf, but it's still working normally, so an end user would have no reason to believe that anything was wrong.
Cell phones are now mini computers in the palm of your hands. It's estimated by 2012, half the cell phones out there will be smartphones. Georgia says her experiment has also raised some serious legal implications.
We've already seen in some of the court cases people subpoenaing phone records. I've basically proved that that shouldn't happen, because what I show in the demo shows that, I mean, the victim phone sends a text message. The victim didn't know anything about that text message. If that shows up in a court case, it looks like the victim sent it. They didn't.
I only found out that you could even hack into phones when 16x9 called me.
Daniel and Kate Metot from Merrick, BC, switched over to a smartphone last summer with Bell Canada as the carrier. They say their first bill was a whopping $1,000.
I was being charged for internet usage on my cell phone.
Daniel says he even turned his smartphone off and stopped using it. But it got worse. More bills, more data charges, until it all added up to
$5,100. I was feeling pretty nauseous about the whole situation.
Daniel says Bell never told him that smartphones could be cloned.
And it even came down to one representative calling my wife a liar.
After months of arguing, Bell eventually gave the couple a full credit. The Metots had no idea what happened until Bell Canada sent 16x9 this statement. The data usage was caused by a third-party email app the customer downloaded to their device, sending and resending the same email over and over in an endless loop. Seems one of those third-party apps downloaded allowed someone else to use their phone like their own.
We decided that we wanted to let the rest of the people who use smartphones know that this could potentially happen.
16x9 went straight to Howard Maker, who heads complaints for telecommunications. He admits the popularity of downloading apps is becoming a huge problem today.
You download from other sites at your own risk, and when you download an app, think about what permissions you're giving it on your phone. If you're downloading a game, does it really need to communicate with the contacts on your phone?
Recently, Google and Android removed more than 100 infected apps that were downloaded an estimated 500,000 times. So that's potentially 500,000 people with infected phones.
I know a lot of people also, they like to unlock their phones, but they need to think about that carefully, because when they unlock the phone, frequently they're also disabling some of the security architecture on that device.
You have more to lose by your cell phone getting attacked than you would from your computer. So treat it the same way. This is an extension of you. Everything it has in it, take care of it.
And there's more. Computer researchers in England recently discovered that Apple's iPhone can track where you go, and it stores that information in a secret file on your phone. The file contains the latitude and longitude along with a timestamp. And according to security expert Keith Murphy, people don't know their every step can be tracked. We spoke to him on Skype.
If you lose your phone, or if somebody has access to your phone, they can quite easily map out your location over the last, ever since you put this update on the phone.
Apple says it was all a big mistake, a software error, and the company wasn't tracking customers, instead recording Wi-Fi hotspots and mobile phone towers. They say they're now taking measures to change their software. And according to our security expert, Apple isn't the only company doing this.
The Google phones, the Android devices also do this. The difference there is they actually send the data back to Google headquarters. Now, Google actually tells you that it's doing this, and you sort of have to opt into it. Now, the difference here being Google will actually target ads based on your location.
The biggest piece of advice all these security experts offer is if you sense something doesn't feel right with your cell phone, call your provider and have them reinitialize it. That means putting your phone back the way it was when you first purchased it. In the meantime, these smartphone customers say they've smartened up.
It's very scary, just with hearing what is possible on a smartphone and how hackers can access your information. It just makes you think twice about, why do we need all this? What's the point of it?
Coming up on 16 by 9.
The idea that children might not have music in their lives in the way that I did felt like a real travesty. So the idea for the school was born from that.
That's all coming up